This episode includes a hungover German, a royal house store, some coffee, and a villain house store. And without much further ado, let's begin at the beginning. Having absorbed all the color my tourist eyes could muster in Hoi An, it was time to move on. I found myself on the back of a bike of a hungover German who admittedly had a bit too much of everything the night before. We were about to drive the Khai Pass, one of the most scenic and dangerous roads on Earth. Having been infected with a local need for speed, my hungover friend managed to condense a 6-hour journey to 3. Bye-bye. So my friend has just abandoned me in the middle of nowhere, on this little stretch between the boats, and I believe these are oyster farms behind me. And here we have a cemetery, some fishing boats. Pretty sure people live in them. I can see a lot of things like a bed, a mattress. And I went on to celebrate being alive in the ancient city. The Khai Pass divides the central and the south of Vietnam. It connects two very ancient cities, Hué and Hoi An. And this entire walled-in city was reserved for the imperial family. So I'm about to go and explore it. So this is basically the front door to the imperial family's house. Not bad, I would say. There is a lake, a bridge, really beautiful carvings. Not bad. I think if I was a guest, I would be immediately very impressed. So let's go inside and check out this house. Too stingy to get a real guide, I picked up an audio guide in hope of hearing some juicy royalist gossip. But there was a fair amount of content dedicated to gates and ornaments, and left somewhat puzzled, I decided to embrace my default state of sweaty cluelessness and wondered until I found some drama. Sort of. And if you're an emperor and you have some guests coming, you finish your dinner, this is where you take them. Over here. This is a theatre. One of the most incredible things about Vietnam is its economical use of space and a torrent of life happening in layers within narrow alleyways. So it feels almost unnatural to be in a space so large and tamed. The Forbidden City served as a home and administrative center to the rulers of Vietnam. Every detail, gate and handle is thought through. Having been ravaged by French colonialism and the Vietnam War, it seems to stand unscathed and determined. Alright, I finally finished tracing the grounds of the imperial city, and my conclusion is if I was an emperor I would take a horse and cart because it's huge, it's a maze. Having sweated out all the liquids from my body, I went in search of replenishment by the means of Vietnam's top brew. The cafes here all have these really small little chairs, and it's one of the best places to sit and watch people. So that's what I'm doing now, just people watching. After soaking in the genteel everyday life of Hué, I was ready for the next house tour, the most intricate and evil-looking mausoleum, the stuff of myths and legends. The tomb of Emperor Khai Dinh. Khai Dinh wasn't very popular with the Vietnamese people, partially because he was considered to be a paid employee of the French, but partially because he raised taxes by 30% to build himself this tomb. And perhaps this has something to do that he wasn't very popular, so he built the tomb actually before he died. Khai Dinh was a controversial character. He ruled for 9 years and spent 11 years building this tomb. Many saw Khai Dinh as the puppet of the French, but he did leave a legacy. As a patron of the arts, he constructed pagodas, temples, and especially this tomb. Wow. And as you ascend up the stairs, there is a whole row of soldiers that greet you. But personally, I've always really wanted to see these stone dudes because they remind me of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter chess, and they have really good hats. Good hat, my friend. Good hat. It's nice to be greeted by stone people. Once you enter inside, the mood actually changes quite a lot. Inside it's super colorful, a lot of detail, a lot of beautiful, colorful blue, yellow, orange tiles. And I'm guessing this is the man himself
Khai had a reputation as a flamboyant dresser. The story goes that while he was in France, he got hold of battery-powered fairy lights and upon returning to Hué, wore them as part of his dress.
I will say though, for all his flaws, he did have a pretty good taste in views. It's really beautiful.
Having spent the day in magic, reality came to bite me in the ass.
This is kind of like a highlight, but also a low light. I spent the whole day filming, I'm very tired, and I am catching the bus back, and it's going to be a 3.5-hour drive. The taxi scooter dropped me off at the wrong location, so I have to walk through quite a bit, and I don't have enough cash. So, but this is all part of travel. And looks like the ticket office I've just come to doesn't exist. So